Good evening, everyone. It's Astute Queen Bee. I just wanted to come on because I wanted to get a couple things off my chest. It's not going to be an everyday thing for me. So if that's what you're waiting for. That's not going to happen. But sometimes I need to rant and complain about people. Okay, let me start here. Anybody that can hear my voice, please listen. Please, please leave Evangelist Valerie alone and let her relax and heal in peace. If Val doesn't bother anybody, if she has to speak her mind, she will do that. But please stop inboxing her and telling her stuff. She don't need to be bothered with all this mess. She got all the fight for her life going on. And it ain't got nothing to do with these stupid YouTube streets. So I wish you people would get it together and leave that lady alone. And her family. If you unhappy in your life, go seek some psychology help. Should I say it the proper way? Go seek some mental health. Go speak to a psychologist. You need a psychiatrist, go get you a psychiatrist. If you need a life coach, go get you one of those. But do something. Learn how to respect people. I'm tired of young kids saying, I want to give you respect when you give it to me. That's not how I was raised. You give people our respect by their age. If they're your elders, you call them by their, maybe by their last name, or put Miss, Mr., or Mrs. in front of it. I would never allow my 31-year-old son to call an elder by their first name. I don't allow him to call me by my first name. But anyway, on to bigger and better things. I was sitting here thinking, what is wrong with this world? Part of it is because there are children raising children that had no guidance how to raise their children, or there are grandparents stuck raising other people's kids because you decided to lay down and make a baby, but not take care of a baby. If you're not ready for a child, don't have one. If you're not ready to stand in adult shoes to take care of your child, don't have one. No, I'm not telling people how to be a parent, but there's a lot of parenting not happening these days. You ever think back when you was a little kid, think of all the fun things you did as a child, or when somebody did something wrong and you watched somebody get in trouble for what they did? That's what should happen now. People don't need to go chastising anybody. You did this, you did that. Show them with your pockets. Show them with your views. That's what they only do is take your money and spend it on whatever they like. Was you giving your money away before you started on YouTube? Does anybody? I mean, because yes, I understand people are making a living on YouTube, but most people still go to a 9 to 5 job unless they run their own business. And again, like I said before, you don't own them subs. Those subs are your bosses because they keep your lights on. They keep food in your refrigerator. If they're a content creator that lives their life being paid by YouTube, they feed you, they put gas in your car, they do all that. Those are your bosses. So they should tell you how to run your channel. If enough people will stand up and speak up respectfully and hold people accountable for their actions, maybe something would change. But until people learn how to start respecting one another and holding people accountable for the bad behaviors, foul language, wishing death on people, playing with people's kids, playing with people's grandchildren, playing with people's families, playing with people's jobs. My thought is, would you like somebody to roll up at your job and start spouting a bunch of words that happen on YouTube and think you lose your job? Just think about it. What about somebody walked up in your job, like the other lady that took a flight to that girl's house? What about somebody showed up at your job and showed people how disrespectful and disgusting your foul mouth is? Think they might keep you at your job? I'm just saying. People run around talking about people's looks. That's another thing. I'm gonna tell you a story about this little girl that was born in 1968 by a mother with a sixth grade education, no father around but an uncle. This girl, a lot of her life, was upset at the world of how she came to be and how she was born and her issues that she had when she was born. Now, this is all about looks. This child was born, weighing 2.5 pounds, excuse me. She was born at the beginning of the year when she was supposed to be born in the middle of the year. Again, she had an older parent, and she had to take care of that child by herself. The child was born blind in one eye. Doctors called themselves removing it, and they didn't remove it. They made it worse. And all of her life, she was teased about that. But then she learned later on in her life, why am I affected by that? If it don't stop me from getting a man, why should she mind if it is an affliction or an issue to her? She had to learn to deal with it as an adult. If that was your child, I would love to know how y'all think about it. But if that was your child, would you appreciate people talking about how they look? Wouldn't you think that baby would be a blessing? Not remove her physical ailments, but just the fact that that child was born weighing 2.5 pounds. You don't think that's a blessing? And they're still alive to this day? I call that a blessing. Because God could have said, no, no, lady, you're not ready for that child now. I'm going to take that back. Would you want people talking about your child that you fought hard to give birth to? That you did everything you possibly could to make sure you put that child in this world safe? Would you appreciate if people don't mind and talk about your child's looks? Would that make y'all happy? Or would that make you want to thump? Because me, I would be proud that that was my child. And I would never allow anyone to disrespect her in any way. And I would teach her how to maneuver through life. Because that's what a parent was supposed to do. Help our children learn to maneuver through life. With some parents, they have different ways of raising their kids these days. Like back in the day, if your child got out of order and they was in the hands of a mother's friend or somebody else, they had a right to chastise that child. These days, oh, don't put your hands on my kids. I'll tell people like this. If your kids are disrespectful and have no home training, you can keep your kids. Because I don't want that in my space. I don't want that negative energy in my space. I don't like bad kids. People say, oh, there's no such thing as bad kids. There is. Some parents make their kids bad. It's like kids with color. Children don't see color. You know who mess up kids? Adults do. They put those kids and make them look at race. Everything is not about race until somebody else pushes it and makes it about race. We're not talking about the JY bullcrap because we all know he's a racist. That is what it is, and that needs to be handled. Grown women take no accountability for their actions, the disrespect, the hate, the lies, the drama that they cause. Do you think your parents, if your parents are not still living, don't you think your parents will be turning over their grave with that? Or they'll cheer you on and say, "Oh yes, protect that lady. Oh, she's lying." Why would somebody want to lie about their health? Only JY did that, and he does that for his people, so he can get a paycheck every month to pay his bills. But most people don't do that. Because they have standards. Where's everybody's moral compass at? I would really like to know. I hope everybody will take time and leave a comment down at the bottom to let me know what they think. Because me personally, I think it's insane. I think it's insane that you can see a woman walking the street dressed to the nines, just got her hair done, got her nails done, everything else, but they child running around with a snotty nose, dirty clothes on, hair not combed. How is that parenting? That's more like selfish. How is it your kids look a mess? But you have your hair, your nails, your clothes is brand new. You got your Gucci pocketbook that you wasted money on that was unnecessary. But your kids is out here out of control. These kids are running amok. And some parents are running amok. I may watch videos and laugh at certain things when somebody get into a fight. Yeah, I laugh at certain things. But it depends on what the circumstance is. Just to watch somebody get beat up, to watch them get beat up, no. If they're defending themselves, absolutely. I'm grown and I'm old. And yeah, everything is not about a physical altercation. It's not. It shouldn't be at this age anyway. But also, I realize that some parents, should I say adults, were raised to scrap. It don't make a difference who it is or how old you are. I wasn't raised that way. Everybody want to fight you because she said this and he said that and she said that. You don't know if that person ever even said it. It's like people that was like, "Oh, she said this in a video and this and that." Did you go watch it yourself? Do your own investigating. Stop taking people's words for things because everybody's word ain't right. I can tell the story right now. And by the time 3 people finish watching this video, they're going to change around every word I've said. It's sad that people have to hold on to receipts and text messages, email. That is so childish and so petty. Do you save and share your work emails with people? A job you getting paid for? I don't think so. So I really need y'all to get it together. Stop disrespecting your elders. Learn to love yourself. Like, is that part of the problem? A lot of people aren't loving themselves enough. If that's not it, more like if that is it, won't you see if there's some books? There's a lot of good books that can help you to center yourself and get back to a better place. Because I don't know if people don't know it or not, but the more bad you put out there, trust and believe, the more bad you're gonna get coming back to you. Everything is a boomerang effect. You do good, good comes back to you. You do bad, you shall reap what you sow. You will definitely reap what you sow. Excuse me, I'm at work. But anyway, what else do I want to say? Oh, about these petitions. Technically, there is only one petition, excuse me, not the dry, petition that needs to be signed. And honestly, if there was 10 petitions, God, I can't talk this evening. Excuse me, this moment. That should be signed, that everybody should sign it. I understand the trust issues with the person that's passing out one of those petitions. Nobody trusts that person unless it's her cult following. Then maybe they'll sign it, but that's not enough people to sign it. So people, get on the board. Again, y'all just gonna let them get away with that? Because y'all know if y'all was at home or in the hood or younger, you would never get away with that. Ain't nobody standing up for what's right. Everybody's standing up to yell, scream, and holler and talk trash about other people. That's what they standing up for. Y'all ain't standing up because you believe in what you're fighting for. You're only doing it because one person told you to do it. Can nobody not think for themselves? I mean, you pay your own bills, right? You pick the job you decide to go to, right? You pick what food you want to eat. Do you let your content creator tell you what to eat every day? Do you let your content creator look at your bills every day? I don't think so. With all these text messages and DMs and stuff going around, it's hard to trust people. But also, I feel this way. If you write somebody something in the DM, make sure you can stand on it. And you allow yourself to be held accountable for whatever you say if somebody shows it. Because technically, 95% of the people on YouTube ain't to be trusted. They're only looking for a click of view and some drama to start. The other percent, they about their business. They are about their business. And it's sad to see women that can't come together. They dogged us black women out for centuries. Treated us like cattle with displays. But you women can't come together. You don't have to like each other. But again, hold adults and children. I call them children. Anybody 20, 30 below is still a child to me. But hold them accountable for the stuff that they say and the stuff that they do. Don't just allow them to keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. Like we're putting a child putting their hand on a hot stove. You're just gonna sit there and let your child continue to put their hand on a hot stove knowing it's hot and it's gonna burn them if they ain't learned their lesson the first time from doing it. Like, what is wrong with you people? We all may live in different sections of the world, but we're still human beings. And you can't show some respect for another human being. I don't care if it's a him or her or she or whatever you want to call it. You don't have no respect for these people. Some people run and hide because they can't save face. I don't understand what is going on with people. I've never, I guess maybe I've lived in a bubble my life, most of my life, and didn't have to deal with shady people. But then again, I learned also as a young girl to pick and choose my friends wisely. Like I do with my food. Or a man. Choose your friends wisely. Don't pour your heart out to people that show you their representatives and make you think, oh yeah, I could trust this person because they seem so nice. No, I can show you a trick to find out if somebody's really should be trusted or not. But I'll save that for another day. I just want people to stand up and get it together and allow other people to either grieve in peace, heal in peace, grow in peace, and stop with the catty, nitpicking, and acting like somebody owes you something. The only person on this earth that owes you anything is yourself. Now, if you can't be by yourself and get your own shit together, something is definitely wrong with you. You need to definitely seek some help. And I'm not saying you got to be mental. I'm just saying you need some life guidance. A lot of people didn't have life guidance as they grew up. I had to learn a lot of things on my own. But I do know, and I do have a heart and a soul, and I hold myself accountable for the things that I do. I'm not perfect. I'm not God. But I do know the difference between right and wrong. I still respect my elders, even if they piss me off or are disrespectful to me. I'd just rather walk away. If somebody come at me sideways on YouTube, yeah, I might snap on them too. But the difference is, I don't make that my everyday life. I don't understand how somebody could be happy with their family or anybody else when all you do every single day is come on YouTube and talk about people's friends and people's families and where they live and how much money you think they make. And stop assuming. You know what assuming means, don't you? I just take it back and say, well, assuming may mean making an ass out of you and me. And technically, you really only making an ass out of yourself because you're speaking on something that you know no facts about. Now, somebody can give you the facts in your face, everything, and you've seen it with your own two eyes, then that makes it fact. But if you've never seen these things, never heard these things, can't say heard because everybody always hearing something on YouTube. Well, people need to get their lives together and pay attention to what's really going on. Because come and get this commentary, her page should have never been shut down. I think there's more to that than meets the eye, just like with the plainest Jane. I believe there's more that meets the eye with that. I'm gonna keep that to myself for now as well, until I feel like diving deeper into that. People to say, "Oh, Rabbit and Danny had come and get the commentary page shut down." Y'all sound so stupid to me. I'm just saying. There's a bunch of things that people could think and assume, but don't assume until you have the facts. I do listen to Danny. I don't know who Danny is, and I'm not trying to find out. Because you know why? I hold myself accountable for anything I do. Nobody catches me out doing no stupid stuff on YouTube because it ain't worth it. That's not who I am. That's not how I act. And I respect my space. So people need to realize your YouTube channel is your own little bubble. You give people of yourself what you want, and you keep the rest to yourself. It's just like punching a clock. You come into work, you do your job, you clock out, and you go home. That's what YouTube is supposed to be about. Entertainment and fun. Not always dragging somebody. Not always threatening somebody. Unless somebody threatens your life. That's a different story. And you see them putting it into action. Then, again, hold them accountable for the shit that they do. I hate to see or hear anyone cry. And this video touched me very bad. I understand how she feels the words that bother her. But I hope that God speaks to her and tells her to stop allowing those demons to attack her soul and to interrupt for growth and healing. I'm going to end this live, but I will say again, these are the pages that I follow, some of them anyway, and they're some of the best content creators. We just come and get this commentary to my girl Kiva, the Plainest J, which is also known as In the Know Radio. Check out Busy Blue. Check out Soul Debonair and Mahanale. Go check out Sinitra. Excuse me. Check out Princess AV at the House of the Princess. And also, some people need to learn how to meditate to free their mind of all that junk that's stuffed in their heads. How about some girls get together and have a Zoom meeting just to talk without anybody else there? I think actually that'd be the only way to get rid of JY, is to get somewhere and have a conversation with a bunch of people at one time to figure out what steps it would take to get him gone. Other than that, I really don't have much else left to say. I do, but I'm at work and I have to get back to work. So I want everyone to have a blessed and beautiful day. Please stay safe on the roads, wherever you live at. I want everyone to take time to reflect on what your parents would say if they seen you acting the way that you do. Take time to reflect. That how would you feel if that shoe was on the other foot? Somebody just came dogging you out, coming after your family, and calling your job, showing up at your job, or coming to your home. How would you feel? How would you feel if you had a disabled child and somebody made fun of your child all the time? How would you feel? I know what I would feel. And I know what I would do. Because that's my child and I gave him life. God blessed me with being my son's parent. Because he could have picked totally different parents, but he picked me. And I thank him for that. Some people need to be thankful they're alive. And just like that baby I talked about before, that was a miracle child to a woman in her 40s that had a baby late in life, that was born with an affliction. She's a blessing and a godsend. Just like Miss Val is a blessing and a lesson to show us that God is in control, not man, but God is in control. Because trust and believe, every dirty thing you do to somebody else is going to roll right back up at your front door. Y'all need to wake up. And we'll talk about other people going to other people's houses and doxing people. But then some of y'all start doing. And again, them subs and them mods. I do got to give a shout out to one mod because she does her thing. And that's Fun to Be Blonde. That's the hardest working woman in show business. I tell her that anytime I see her. But again, I wish all of you many peace, blessings, and again, hold yourself accountable for your actions and get some self-respect. Learn to share respect with others. Learn to talk to people, not cuss, holler, scream, and yell, or threaten people. Talk. That's what God gave you a mouth for. Take the time to listen. That's what God gave you ears for. Can't say walk away physically because they can't see you walk away. So I'm gonna say that's what God gave you 2 legs for. And for those suffering inflictions that they can't move their legs, God has still gave them discernment, and He is working on them, just like He is working on me every day of my life. But I'm not that type of woman that starts mess and then hides my hand. There's too many of them people on YouTube. People are using people for their content every day, and y'all still can't get it right. Do some history checking. Learn some history. Black History Month is almost over, and I know at least a good 99% of people ain't did nothing or did no research or watched any Black History movies. Everybody talking about they tired of hearing about slavery. Well, that's where they brought us from. And that's another story for another time. But ladies and gentlemen, please get your lives together. If something is wrong, tell somebody something is wrong. Just don't go out attacking people for no reason and hurting people for no reason. If you're hurting, seek some help. Because we all do know hurt people hurt people. But again, people need to learn that you may mess with the wrong one and they may show up at your doorstep. YouTube can't save you then. YouTube technically can't save you now. So, again, wishing everybody a good morning, a good night, and a blessed day. This is Queen Bee. Straight talk, no tracer. Be blessed.